It's 2020, and with live events going virtual all over the world, we at Wacom issued a unique artistic challenge. We gathered portfolios from across the Americas, selected 8 student artists, and split them into 2 teams, giving them a Wacom 1, some pro animation software, and 7 days to create a 45-second animated short. And everything done remotely. This is Cartoon Crunch.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? This is the last morning brief of this season's Cartoon Crunch. I hope you guys are feeling good. You feeling strong?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw there was a tremendous amount of chatter over our Slack conversations. You guys were posting new shots. You guys were posting all of your various communications with each other. You know, work on this shot, work on this shot. I've got this shot done. I've got this going on. And it was really, really cool to watch. It made me smile quite a bit yesterday watching you guys just go after it. We're going to break a little bit from tradition and have a guest mentor right now so you guys can have a little bit more time to do the rest of your work throughout today. Our guest is not only the guest mentor for editing, but also the editor of the show. He is a person who has come from live action. He came from a show called Falling Skies with Steven Spielberg onto and into the world of television animation. I first met him at Disney Television Animation on a show called Future Worm. He has then gone on to be not only the animatic but the color editor on shows like Big Hero 6 and now the upcoming and to be released reboot of The Proud Family. Please welcome Mr. Charles Jones.
Hey guys, nice to meet you all.
Hello.
Hey.
A pleasure.
I wanted to start this off by just congratulating everybody because not everybody can, say they finished a short film, So I think I'm big ups to you guys, claps because it's not easy. It's not easy, and I came from commercials too. I did commercial animation for 6 years, and it's hard to tell a story in 30 seconds, and you guys are doing that too. So I think that's fantastic. So, the big claps go to you guys. So thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, Charles, the way this normally works is that we'll have 2 breakout sessions. We have Team West. Please identify yourselves. Give us a wave. And then Team East. And so we'll go with each individual team, and they're going to show you their animatic. And then you can tell them sort of what, your thoughts are on them, where they can possibly, nip and tuck a little bit in the edit. And then we're going to switch over to Team East and then do that same thing.
Awesome.
Cool. So Team East, if you wouldn't mind stepping out for a hot second. And Team West, let's get it going.
So I'll just share my screen with the latest compiled version.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's really great, guys. Really great. Have you guys noticed that while you guys have done the animatic, that maybe the animation it seems a little bit slower in pace? So that's kind of a luxury that you guys will have because you'll be able to take some of the time out of some things. Like, for example, that scene where the scan happens, we sit on that laser beam a little bit longer. So you can add to some of the emotion of your story, where the little puppy's protecting the baby at the end with extra giggles and your ring out of your music and stuff like that. And then you can also add some of those frames to the head where it's more, threatening and ominous in the beginning, where the robot Ramba is about to really attack. I think first off, you guys got a fantastic story and it's paced really well. But I wanted to just express that timing will definitely change when you really get into animation and you can actually shape it. And music will help too, because you probably cut to the beat. But definitely when you get animation, things feel a little bit slower, so you can plus things up and add some frames. And I want to add one more thing before we move on to and maybe watch it one more time. When it comes to, you guys have this 45-second rule, and if not saying you're over, I think you guys are probably like just a couple frames over, right?
We're actually under. It's because of the title that it seems longer.
Oh, okay, right. So, well, then it's kind of obsolete for me to even give this suggestion, but a lot of people forget that you could just take frames out of each shot, one frame out of each shot. No one will even know to get that extra, second sometimes. But I just wanted to throw that out there, but you don't need it. But you guys did a really good job. We can just play it one more time. Maybe we can just kind of talk through it real briefly. I won't take too much of your time. I think the effects are really great in the beginning. It's really good.
I love that little expression of "I got this," and then boom.
Yeah, totally.
Do you have it? Do you really?
That's great. Yeah, there's not much to say. You guys did a really fantastic job. It's really great, paced well. Yeah, the only suggestions I had are the two shots where the laser beam sits too long, like I said. You could probably add to the tail of that because it's so cute with the little dog jumping on the Ramba, and you'll have some baby coos or laughs or something. And then the shot where the dog darts off, I think could be sped up because it abruptly, it feels a little odd that he's just kind of galloping and then all of a sudden the next shot he's supercharging. But other than that, I think you guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
One thing about that shot that you guys have so beautifully done was as he is jumping off the stairs to go run, there is that sword drag. Keep that in there because the sword drag helps hook up to the next shot.
Yeah.
Well,
Make sure you don't cut too soon, but make sure that it's sped up enough so where it feels like he's dashing off.
Yeah, exactly.
We actually tried a transition for that shot. Could I show it?
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it looks really good, I feel.
Okay, give me a second. All right, so we just did a quick transition to try and do the split screen a little
very
different.
nice. That helps a lot.
So it doesn't leave the frame that way.
Yeah,
Oh, hey. That works.
I think that's great. Yeah. Yeah, I try not to let anybody leave the frame much anyway. And I hope that maybe you can speed that transition to slam a little bit, or maybe do something where it kind of, like there's a camera shake. That would be really epic,
Yeah.
But just my 2 pennies on that.
Cool.
Is there a reason for the little bar in between? So there's the black line, then there's a yellow line and a black line again?
You mean on the
Oh,
split screen, Mike?
Yeah, on the split screen.
It was just to add some differentiating factor because the line art on the characters are also black, so it looked a little weird.
Okay, sure.
I think it looks good. Yeah, I think that looks good.
Sure. Well, I just want to know that there's a justification to your decisions.
Yeah, I think that's a good note, Mike, because I went to Art Center College of Design, and that was one of the things the teachers would always say. The instructors would always emphasize, if you can't defend your decision, then you're really not directing, are you? Which I always thought was the harshest thing to ever say to me, but well, I think that's awesome, Mike. You got to be able to defend every shot. That's great.
Yep. Well, you know what? I truly believe that a harsh taskmaster makes for better artists.
Yeah.
It's like those old kung fu movies where they just go through just torture, but at the end they're awesome.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys haven't felt necessarily tortured, but I hope at the end of this you guys feel awesome for having gone through making a short film in a week.
And
All
let me
right, Team
touch-
West.
Before we go, I just wanted to touch one more thing, guys. You guys are planning on doing a little bit of a musical treatment, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because that'll also shape the timing. So, be very careful sometimes cutting too much before you get your music down, because then you'll be stuck with, I need to add a couple too many frames to get to this bar or measure, where the music loops or whatever. So sometimes it's good to just lay down a rough musical sketch of a feel that you like, and then be able to, kind of tighten to it, and you can replace it later. That's what we do at Disney. We do our temp tracks just to kind of time it, and then we have a music guy. He comes and does a whole new thing, but at least he has the timing of real measures in the bars, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So just keep that in mind, guys. But great job. You guys are amazing.
And of course, one of you is a composer, right? That's what you're doing, right? No, just kidding. All right, Team West, well done. Swap over to Team East real quick, and we'll see you guys in a short little bit. All right, Team East. Do you have the current cut of your film that we can see?
I can put
We
it
do.
in East right now.
Just Frankensteined it together.
As one does, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope you had a very dramatic "It's Alive" scene when you hoisted your film up to the top and shocked it with lightning.
Before you guys start, I wanted to say, I know it's not a competition like we were saying, but you guys got a little edge up. I did some research on almost everybody, and I know there's like 1 or 2 that are musicians, and I think, music really shapes the story. So you guys got a little bit of an advantage here, because I'm not saying they don't have music. They got their thing. They're killing it. But, being a musician, you got time to do your cues. You have your cue session within yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody else. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I believe it's something that one adds to the other, right? It's like you have your animation, and then you put the melody and you accentuate some things from the animation on the music, and then you find new things in the music that you can accentuate in the editing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of hodgepodge together. Some of the shots we're still exporting because we have to do the effects and then
Yeah,
the character.
totally. I get it. Totally.
So
Yeah.
we're kind of finding all the files and putting them together.
All right, here we go. Cool, you guys.
Can we watch it just one more time, though, if you don't mind? If I can just
Sure, absolutely. Here we go.
Yeah, there's not many pieces that I watch where I can hear the music. Like I hear certain things happening already. It's really, that means you guys are your pacing is really good in the beginning. I think that sounds weird to people that aren't musicians, though. Yeah, definitely. I think the overhead shot is the shot that you could probably just speed that up to add the time to all of this, because this is really great. The coming out and hand, and then standing over. It's really great.
I kind of feel like we don't actually need the shot of the head sinking.
The overhead.
Yeah, it could
Yeah, 'cause you
sink
get the
on the
idea already.
previous one.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that because that's the reason why I was suggesting speed it up because I'm like, we get the idea.
Yeah, or we were gonna cut that one of her dropping it. Just like cut it like halfway. Yeah.
So like you mean have her just kind of
Yeah, like right there.
about there? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Like still holding it right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, because I do like the overhead shot. It sort of breaks things up a little bit.
It is obvious, but it could just be sped up because it's so obvious. 45 seconds, you got a bigger story to tell.
And it's clean and done.
Yeah.
That's all. That's always I mean, it could do with a little bit of bubbling here and there, but I
but you could do that in comp.
Yeah, I believe you guys have some effects like that already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be able just to like, cobble in a couple bubbles here and there, and then we could watch this hat sink down into the cauldron.
And then this one, she's not. This next one, she's not angry. She's sad. Like we took out this tantrum, like her throwing the fit.
We could cut to this part directly, like she leaving. We don't need the
because you're getting
anymore.
The same action.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we'll probably harp up this and make it a big like.
Totally, 100% agree with you. 100%.
Yeah. If you have time, split up the action of this and delay the hand coming in to where she's already like this. So you want her to come around and then the hand to drop.
But I think also, Mike, what would be great is maybe either there's a musical sting that kind of forwards that, not like a smart camera where the camera's moving before, but maybe there's some extra bubbling that's going to occur, or there's a rumbling of some music and then the hand comes in. The
two things we were going to do for this shot, Leanne did the cleanups on this and they look gorgeous, and there's like a little bubbly drip on the foreground cauldron, but we're also doing a multi-plane zoom to sort of reveal the cauldron, and then when the hand comes out, it'll probably be where it is right about now.
Oh, that's really great.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Charles, can I send the melody I was working on? We have it with the animatic. Okay.
I would love that.
Well, it's an old animatic, just for you guys to know.
All right.
But it's like the draft of this first melody. Charles, I saw you talking about music. Are you a musician as well?
Yeah, I try to dabble in that just a little bit, only because to be honest with you, it's a selfish ambition to try to be better than other editors. If you can put some natural music in, it kind of impresses the producers. So I can't really say I'm a musician like you guys. I just dabble a little bit to forward the action with some jingles. Okay. But I write it myself, so sometimes they could use it. Because royalties are great, man. Trust me, I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah. My good to know. But my idea was to have like the Frisian scale, that it's kind of a minor scale modified, but to have like different moods.
Yeah.
Cited, like when she drops it, it has a mood, and then she's angry, it has a mood. She gets
the
sad,
same. It has the same melody aspect.
Exactly.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so here it goes. So we started by the melody. Now we have to add the pads, foundation, and rhythm. But maybe if we have time, fills. But maybe the fills could be sound effects as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, and like I was thinking the other thing is like her movements are like a wooden xylophone, like that old school like bone.
Oh, that's great.
So like when she's like, I don't know, like minor stuff, like she picks it up like ding or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think you guys got a great opportunity, like you were saying, Kim, to the progression up to the part where the hand and all that. I'm just trying to emphasize that because that's like my favorite part, that Frankenstein moment.
Yeah, and we were going to have it be like, I'm thinking music there is like, bum bum.
Yeah.
And then like when he comes through the smoke, it's like, wow.
Awesome.
Whatever,
yeah,
sort
totally, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys really got something great. This is awesome, man.
I still feel like we don't need that headshot. Like I do believe we could have the head sinking just a bit on the previous one and have more time for her to see the head, because I kind of feel this is rushed. She just get the head, looks, and drops. You know, I totally agree with you that we have to milk those sentimental moments, and I kind of feel like everything is in the same pace right now. There's
I
not
agree
like,
with that.
okay, this moment for emotion with not much motion, and then the other one with more motion. We don't have like this division.
But that sky shot it's almost like a money shot right now, because it's like, you're showing that's a cool angle. It's kind of like if you're in live action, you're like, this is the shot where the transformer's going to transform and we're going to rotate around them real slow for 5 hours. That's what this shot is, man. I mean, I agree with you that you might not need it, but it is. You got 45 seconds, so we got to wow them with some really dynamic.
Yeah, I'm just thinking clip it on the one before.
Oh yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, but I think it's.
Maybe then we can just cut to the explosion, because I kind of feel like we need time for her to see the head and feel that, and this way it's kind of rushed.
Dylan's retiming it right now, and he's adding a lot more action in. So like he's exaggerating the points and like
I see
that. So we padded out. From last time I saw the timing, he's padded out more. So he's finding that there's a little bit more time. So we might be able to milk that more. It's just such a long shot, and this was an earlier shot of it. So after I think another round with like not as tired, he was able to find a lot more of the time. So we might be able to keep this cool, clean shot.
Yeah, if you guys have time for it, this might be a cool shot to sort of foreshadow what's going to happen, where like it's sort of lightly bubbling, and as she turns away, that it starts to bubble up more. It's like,
or even rumble, it might shake a little bit or something.
Yeah, something. And then when she's walking away sad, she doesn't notice it, and then boom.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, oh my gosh, it's worked. Then you're zooming out and seeing this hand kind of come up and plop on the end of the cauldron, and then the silhouette mislead, and then blah, and then and then this hug moment feels really gratifying.
Yeah.
It's cool. It'd be cool to see like her give him a good squeeze, which would make the eye pop out.
Yeah.
And then kiss. Here you go, dear. And if you have time, a nice little button on that would be that sort of loving look accompanying.
I was just about to say that, because it feels a little rushed from here to the next shot.
So two things about this one. You were talking about the squeeze, Michael. I kind of feel like we have it already, but his reaction is taking a little bit too long. Like if you go just one before, he's still like, yeah. I kind of feel like he could like have the impact earlier. And then I agree, we should have more time when the eye falls, because we can't absorb this information so much right now. We could have just like freeze for a little bit, stay longer for like, as you said, like 5 frames. It makes the difference.
It does.
Yeah.
And then keep going.
Well, cool, guys.
Another thing is, if you guys get that extra time from all of this, you can sit on this loving the shot at the end, her rocking just a little bit longer, and let that music really sell her happiness or whatever it is, with her, the situation, This is another shot before the eyeball pops out too,
Hey, just another thing. I was thinking, if you go a little bit back to the chairs scene, maybe we could have the credits there.
In the rocking shot, right?
Yeah. So here on the big purple, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously after the moment, right? You give it a little moment, and then.
Yeah, we have like a FX of a heart, like.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. True. Yeah.
But I think we could possibly do, like, it is going to sit on this them sitting there for a little. It's actually like a zoom out.
Like a drift out.
Yeah, drift out.
Cool.
I think that's a fantastic idea, and then you can actually do the eyeball at the very end, and that also gives you one more jingle with your music to kind of ring out.
The first idea was to do credits over this scene so that we could use this scene because originally we had like so many shots that it was going to be like 45 seconds up until this shot, and then we were just going to put the credits in to sort of like skirt by
It's
that.
not a scene. It's just a credit.
Yeah, exactly. But we sort of like the eyeball like title card just sitting there,
Yeah.
and that stays there, and the credits like go above it.
All right, so let's everybody give Charles a round of applause. He's awesome, even though we're doing this remotely. Applause is still important. So, all right, you guys, it's time to crunch.
Well, I'm really glad I did this. Like, I'm so glad I signed up to do this because I almost didn't. I was like, I probably won't get in. But now I'm like, this was a good choice to do this because I had a great time working with everyone, and I feel like I learned a whole lot, not just about doing like getting better at animation, but getting better at just working with people, organizing a team, and just like, doing stuff on a deadline too, so that you can't make everything perfect, but you got to make things good as you can with the time you have.
This taught me how a team project goes rather than a solo project. So I thought it was pretty great. It was a really good experience and fun.
I mean, it's been awesome because it's like, working with people is a great skill to have. And like people that you just met, or not even met, like virtually met. I feel like it's like impressive that we were able to pull together this short. I'm like excited for it. I think it's awesome. The music is making it so cool. Yeah, I mean, it's stressful, but I was saying to my parents before, I was like saying it's like an analogy, sort of like how like on those old TV shows, like a dad catches his son smoking and he makes him smoke the whole pack because it's like, it'll teach him to never do it again, sort of thing. Like, not that I'm never gonna do this again, but it's like a week long short. I don't know if I would sign up for it, knowing it would be, you know what I mean? It's like it's a lot of work, especially for 4 people. But we're cranking it out. She's almost done. She's looking beautiful. I'm excited.
I think it's been a really amazing experience, especially with the whole like even in regular group projects or situations like those, there's something about this that really ups the whole excitement, and there's like this whole learning factor that comes into place where you're trying to figure out how to work with your teammates. You're also equally just as passionate about the work you're doing. Everyone just wants to put their best foot forward, and I think that's pretty amazing, especially since you pick up on other people's techniques. You learn from each other. You learn how to interact. I think it's overall been like an amazing experience from a lot of different angles.
It's been a really hard and fast learning curve. Kind of getting to see this feels like production. It feels more like what I will do in the future. As like a whole, this is giving me a really cool experience that I don't think I would have gotten in a different environment if I had done something with friends or if I had just kind of like done something at school. I think as a whole, it's really like eye-opening, and it's also helping me ground myself as an animator and find out who I am, what I can do in a time crunch, and my strengths and things that I need to work on as well.
It's been really insane, honestly. Like, I never have done anything like this before. I've never had to do this much work in such a small amount of time, at least that I can remember. Like, it feels like a lot right now, and I'm really happy with the team. I really think that we have made something that we're all happy with. We're all going to be proud of once it's finally done, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
It's because it's so immersive to be in this experience and dealing with so many things, because we did accomplish a lot of things for a week. And when you do a lot, you experience a lot, and it feels like it was longer.
It is weird. It feels like this has been like a really long, like, oh, we've been doing this for so long. I think it's the amount of work we produced in such a little time.
It feels like we've been on here for months.
Well done to all my teammates. I would not have gotten here. We would not have been able to do this if we didn't all work together, and we worked so well. I can't believe it worked out so well with us.
Until like 3 days ago, I'd never used Toon Boom before. So I was so nervous about like using it for the first time. And then like when we were assigning animation parts, they were like, "Oh, Casey, you can do the longest part," and I was like, "Oh no," and I ended up not doing that. I was like, "Guys, I don't know if I could do this. I've never used Toon Boom before." But honestly, like after like just getting used to it, I realized like it wasn't as hard as I was making it out to be in my mind, and I'm really happy with it. I really like using Toon Boom, and I think that I'm a lot more confident at animating now, to be honest.
That's gonna be so cool. If, like, you know what I mean? We're the first season always the best. Or first 4 or whatever. But yeah, I just think it's awesome. And you know, I've been the biggest supporter of Wacom since day one. Well, I called it Wacom for probably the first 2 years. And then someone was like, it's Wacom. And then I was like, now I'm the one correcting people. It's funny how that works, but
I really see this working for like a global potential for people all around the world to learn animation and have this opportunity with you guys. So thank you for me and for those people.